Up next is Mike Graf. He was diagnosed in January of this year with kidney disease. Mike, why don't you come on up and tell us more about your story?
Thank you. Thanks, Jed. My name is Mike Graf, and I'm from Appleton. I want to thank Mark and Lynn for inviting me again. Our paths crossed for the second time. I'm in need of a kidney. I'm retired after working 40 plus years in the chemical industry. My son John is with me. Mark's son Nick and John went to middle school and high school together in Appleton, and that's how I got to know the Scotches. Who would ever guess 22 years later we would be crossing paths and we'd be looking out and reaching out and really needing your help. It's just can only be fate that through Facebook, Nick told the Scotches that John Graf's dad needs a kidney, and then one thing started from just kept on snowballing and rolling. And so here I am. My wife and I were born and raised in Algoma, Wisconsin. It's just south of Door County in Kewaunee County. Some of you may know where that is. It's a beautiful little town right on Lake Michigan. I enjoyed 37 beautiful years with Luann until her unexpected passing in 2016. And I just wanted to touch on it. It was such a tragic day. You never get over it. She, after surviving a 10-hour brain tumor surgery, she was in therapy, and I was taking her down for therapy. It was on a Saturday. It was I think it was 3 days before she was going to get discharged. She had been in occupational speech, and so I took her down, and it was on a Saturday. Still remember it like it was yesterday, and took her down the hall for one of the therapy sessions, and took her to the room. I walked her down, and she sat down, and Mike, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. She sat down. I can't do this today. No therapy. I can't do any therapy. And I said, well, no problem. We'll take you right back. So I put her in a wheelchair and got one of the nurses with me and brought her back to the room and sat her down on the chair where she was there, thinking she was just needed some rest. She looked overly tired, and I would stay overnight with her every night. And but anyway, it wasn't 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and she stood up and says, "Mike, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe." And she had a blood clot in her lung and passed away in 30 minutes. It was the most tragic thing, and it was. I can't begin to tell you what it did to both me and our kids. I have 2 kids, John and Heidi. They both got families now, 4 grandchildren. John, he's got 2 girls, Elena and Josie. They're 13 and 11, 2 beautiful girls, and my daughter Heidi. She's got a 6 and a 7-year-old. They're both in grade school, and Heidi is the little girl, Sophie. She's in second grade in Appleton at St. Pius with Mark's granddaughter. Also, how's that for? They're in the same grade. So, anyway, and we got two great spouses, Maria and Joe, with them. And basically, that's what I'm living for. I just they're just starting to grow, and I don't want to miss anything. I want to see and watch them continue with their lives. So, in January this year, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. It has my numbers have steadily gone down from 2, 3, and I'm 4, and I probably have a window of 6 to 9 months before I'll have to go on dialysis. On a lighter side, my interests, I enjoy the Green Bay Packers, the Bucks, and the Chicago Cubs. Yes, the Chicago Cubs. Well, they left in '65. If you guys, many of you remember, they walked out and they had to sell the team to Atlanta. And I'm 14 years old and I'm looking for a team. So the closest we had was the Chicago Cubs. And my kids, when we were younger, Dad, why are we going to Chicago? Because that's where I took them. Instead of Milwaukee, we went down and watched the Cubs games. Other than that, I'm an active member in my church in Appleton, where I'm a weekly prayer devotion group. I'm in a men's group where we not only talk regarding the Bible, but we also seek ways as trying to improve our church and a number of things that are needed. So that's it's a great bunch of guys that we meet every Tuesday night. We got one next Tuesday again. One of the things I also enjoy doing, and which I've done, and I had to stop this last spring, is because I didn't know if I'm going to be around or not, is that I've also sponsored and helped sponsor kids through our church at Guatemala, and actually brought them up all the way through college and paid for their education. And so that was something that I really enjoyed. Again, I think I just want to stress that my grandkids are everything to me, and I do plan on paying it forward. If we can get this done, this transplant, I certainly want to be a part of the going forward in the National Kidney Register and being a part of Mark's group, if he'll let me, because it's certainly something that I need to do this. And I thank you for your time. Please consider me, at least say a prayer for me. So I guess that's all I have. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.